Pigs are getting the first apple shavings from some applesauce Casey's been making. It's that time of the year, amazingly, already. Good morning. Outside, getting ready to head down, and we are T-minus 1 day from lift being returned, and I'm going to be doing my best to get all the blue board up on that east face at the peak of the house and finish out the roof to soffit interchange on the one side that's not done yet. Get everything ready to where tomorrow Casey can get all of the touch-up paint done, and then we'll just be done on that whole face. Okay, we're on the far corner now. That side obviously was where we started on this roof, opposite of the other roof. We've got the end piece of metal, a little bent up there all the way back. Got a tray in the back. Filled that up with some Lexel, and then here is our wall to roof transition flashing. And so then the soffit will come down and butt onto this, but give yourself a gap. So, we just got one more piece to run here over, and then other than gutters, this section is done. Check it out. First try. And I always mess up cuts, man. So there is a little gap up here, boop. And then you can see that same reflected right there. And that is because I have not put the little metal trim across the top yet. So I got to get that done. I will need the tape. No, I'll need the black tape back, but I'll come down and we can manufacture that when we're done. But yeah, I gotta tape that. I just remember I just took the black tape off. I'm done with the zip tape for now. You're never done with zip tape. Adventures in Ben cutting things based off of my directions. This is what he cut for what I told him to cut. Now, see that little faint line? That's what I intended and failed to communicate, and what he did not cut. Now we fix and then cut again.
Cut again. Measure twice.
Cut 45 times.
Cut 17 times.
Okay, 17.
Oh, that'll be great.
So good. So good. Easter here.
Wow.
There's. Hi, spacer. That's why I carry two. Once in the shade, which is where I am right now, it's really not too bad outside. So peak piece went in, and we maintained kind of where we were at with the board relative and the, next to it. And this board here, it's tight to that soffit. So in order to make sure that we, come down the wall nicely here, I might reduce this next one by a little bit. And then that way, when it's running up, it's not gonna scrape against the soffit or force the bottom down lower relative to the head trim of the window. Great view out here today. Nice wind coming through. And of course, you can always get vertigo.
Where was that? Behind me. Right behind me. In the shade.
That's where it should be.
Huh?
That's where it should be.
That's where I put it.
Poor little thing.
It was in the sun. Screaming for its life like your blower.
Yes. There's that.
Safety first with the blower. We boot it over to here. We say, oh, that look straight
As the Dualt will possibly cut.
we turn it over.
Don't mind me, I'm just your friendly neighborhood heckler.
That's right. Don't mind me. I'm just channeling my inner carpenter. Oh, wait.
That was pretty good. Good job. Stop moving. So I like this funny half moon under on here. It, you can drop it down like this and get a nice flat end cut, but you can also cut a lot more, and it lets you really have a fine degree of control. So, I can come at this cut that I have to cut across like this, and just only touch what I want to touch with it, which is nice.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high.
He's going at full speed.
His full speed slide.
So good morning up here at the peak, and we're working on this big board behind me here. It's a long board, and it's going to run from somewhere down in there at the bottom of that up to probably about here or here. And the reason we're running that long one instead of running from the peak down is I find it easier to handle smaller pieces up here and less likely that they'll be visible than down there. So we're almost done up there in that top triangle section, and I'm ready to hand off for a little while to Casey, who will get all that looking sharp. She's gonna touch up paint in white and in blue, finish any caulking that I missed, and make sure it's looking good. Just watch the roof. There's two ways I'm putting up batten, just depending on what I'm feeling like. Either I use a box level, or I use just the boards. I can see where the nails are for that trim board that runs along underneath the soffit, and I'm putting them in line with, right in the middle of between the boards and the board and batten. And so when I put the batten on, I just line up the nails on the top, and then I can feel or see on the bottom. Are you painting the nail heads on the battens?
I will be, yeah.
Okay. But we have to have it back until 3 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I should be able to get a few more things done that are going to be hard to do without, like the gutter. And I can get the remaining battens on at the same time and just touch the nail heads. So I saw after we put it up that we'd missed one.
How many inches is 3 stories?
Alrighty.
Well, what do you think?
I think I'm glad to be down,
Yeah,
but it sure looks pretty.
it does. It looks beautiful up there. So you were saying something earlier about the caulk we're using?
I think it's a really good quality caulk because I was not having trouble with it drying too fast, but it also didn't pick up on my brush when I went over it real quick with a paintbrush. So it's just a really nice, smooth consistency. Getting much better finished product than I usually do with the standard caulk.
And how's the paint?
Paint is great. It's going on true to one coat cover.
That's good. Morning. Last day with our lift. We've got a whole little laundry list. It's all on the phone, and I don't remember exactly what all I was going to do, which is why I wrote it down, because I'm that way. But Casey is starting off with some paint over here. Last day with the lift.
I'm just touching up areas before we go to put these boards up that got damaged during the cutting process.
Yeah. And one of the things about these boards, the LP, is they want all the edges sealed. So, like, obviously wherever we cut needs to be sealed up as well. Well, you can't do that without a battery anyway, kiddo.
He's got a battery. He wants to put it in.
The boards Casey are painting are for right up in here. I have some tape for right there, and I'll try and show you when I get up there, but there's a metal seam on the other side that lifted when I installed my drip edge little double metal piece. We're gonna try and get in there from the back and tape it to make sure it stays sealed. There's the trash from the foam closures that were wrong for what we were doing, and we're just gonna use these best that we can, kind of stuff them in there. And they're going up on that side of the mini roof and on that side where it's at an angle versus the straights, because the proper foam closures won't work for that application. Just got a little scrap 2x4 here, and we're going to use that to bring two fascia boards together. And I'm bringing along our screwdriver just because I happened to see while I was up there that we were missing one screw on that ridge piece. Here's our missing screw in the ridge cap. Yeah, this view, it gets old real fast. This view doesn't. So this is what I'm talking about, and where we're installing our cheaper, universal foam closures here. It's gonna go up into there under like that, and it will just help close that up a little bit for nuisance creatures. So here's the piece I was telling you about that needs to be joined. So you can see this part is out farther than this part. And so we're just gonna put a board behind here above the level where the soffit is gonna be. So I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, there you go. A little gap. Disappears by the time you hit this rib right here, but right through there, you can see that from the other side. So we're gonna get back underneath and tape that. So this just tucks up under. Already got that nicely under there. And you can see it still has the glue lines, and it'll probably actually glue best to the metal top, I'm thinking. Just like that, just to fill that void. And here we are up inside. And you can just see that little bit of light down there at the bottom, and kind of up till there. So we're just gonna get that. All right, gutter guards are done on that roof. In fact, that entire roof, the whole way, is done. And boy, does that feel good. So that side and that triangle complete. And now I'm coming around the corner, and you can see headed down that way towards our scaffold. I'd started on the other end with these gutter guards, but I had not finished. And let me show you this gutter here. This is our tree side. And it's only been a couple weeks, but look at that. That is a lot of needles. So I'm curious to see, is this really going to be a long-term good solution for us as far as not having to come up here, or is this going to be a once a year we hire somebody, or I get up here somehow with ladder and brush this off? I don't know what we're going to be looking at here. I'm hoping it's not going to be the second one of those. But I mean, you can see down there at the very end, there's some debris on the gutter guard. I got to clean this out as best I can before I put gutter guards on as well. So right here at the corner, this little spot did give me some pause as to how to work it, and I'm very happy with what I came up with. So there's a teeny space right there at that interchange where, a little needle or something like that can work its way in, but we're around the corner from the forest, so it won't be much of anything that gets in there. So we've pretty much done what we can on that entire side with the lift that we need to do And so now we're just doing some tasks that we can do with the last couple of hours on the lift that we've got to get the most out of it possible before we drive it in and turn it back in. And so I'm going to be putting up, I don't know, as many as I can reach with the lift realistically without having to do any additional cuts, but some of those sheets that Casey painted for me this morning. The only part I couldn't reach with the lift and I couldn't reach from my scaffold is that. So I have to get that with a scaffold move later. So we are done. Other than that, on this whole stretch, and we've got a number of pieces on the wall underneath here. Now it's time to turn this beast in. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.